Welcome to the heartful love story, where fate intertwines once again, as Anna's clear, spring-like eyes gently land. She could hardly believe that after the storm, she could find that heart-flipping love again amidst the little moments of daily life. Their emotions sprout quietly like spring buds, strengthening daily. To preserve those beautiful moments, she picked up the camera, capturing every happy moment, preserving sweet memories in her heart. Anna's presence turned John into a one-woman man overnight, as his stylish female colleagues cast flirtatious glances. But Annie had already taken up residence in his heart, leaving no room for anyone else. John gradually understood that true love isn't just a flash of excitement, it's about the steady flow of guardianship and connection. With her existence, John's horizons started. Clients flocked to John like they were fighting for couch space, quickly snapping up the latest sports car model. Everything had never been so smooth, but that night, when John called his family, subtitles, he quietly overstated his sales achievements. Why did he have the urge to make things seem even grander? Faced with Anna's questions, John expected a lengthy lecture, but Annie simply asked him to list his 4 good qualities. This made John stand there in a daze, given that he had never been acknowledged before. Annie gradually walked up to him, offering him sincere compliments. Like a sunny spring, it soothed his restless heart. The lonely years vanished under Anna's warm gaze. That day, as usual, John returned home with a weary body. After a quick chat, he suddenly felt a heaviness in his chest. With the warm water Annie handed him, he began to open up, marking John's debut in emotional sharing. When he earnestly wanted to say those 3 little words, he was as nervous as a schoolboy on his first brush. With every word spilling over, they expressed honesty and anxiety he had never felt before. However, good times don't last. That day, Anna's medication was running low, yet she couldn't even twist the cap off the bottle. Struggling to grip the scissors, he realized he didn't even have the strength to hold the scissors, collapsing softly onto the couch. The worsening of her condition reminded him again that this love and certainty were truly a luxury. As he approached John, she maintained her calm fall, Ada offering him comfort, then trembling hands poured herself a drink. The observant John swiftly detected that there was something unusual about Annie. He kindly asked about her condition, yet Annie resisted. John couldn't accept his love was so worthless. He stood up abruptly and stormed out, as if Anna's strength crumbled with a shattered wine glass. Although John knew Annie was pushing him away in an extreme manner, when he heard her heart-wrenching cries from inside, that despair and pain shredded his heart, making him realize that what Annie truly needed was companionship, not a battle of solitude and sorrow. He held Annie tightly, vowing never to let her face the torment of illness alone. Days later, they drove to Chicago, filled with hope to attend the gathering for Parkinson's patients. The venue was filled with comrades like Annie, sharing their struggles and optimistically exchanging life moments. John gradually realized that he wasn't alone. Anna's worries slowly melted away in the warmth of their sharing. John silently watched Anna's tears well up, a pang welled in his heart. To calm down, he quietly slipped out of the venue and ran into a patient's family member at the restaurant. He hoped for advice, but only heard the man's complex, resigned advice. My suggestion: go upstairs and find a healthy woman, you know what I mean. Turns out this man's wife had fell ill when young, and now she was at stage 4 of Parkinson's. He had poured his heart and soul into caring for her, nearly depleting all his wealth, while the disease robbed her of her ability to think and move, leaving only a lifeless shell of what once was their love. John stood there, stunned. Subtitles, completely taken aback. John had never expected that reality could actually be this cruel. After the gathering, Anna's mood brightened like sunshine. She kept sharing amusing anecdotes from the event, and the optimism shared among the patients reignited her courage to embrace a brighter tomorrow. This newfound hope couldn't have been possible without John's unwavering support. There is somebody always there helping me. You know what I mean. Oh my gosh, I love you. I love you too, I love you, I love you, Annie confessed suddenly, injecting a new burst of energy into John as night fell. And while Annie slept, he quietly began searching for information on Parkinson's disease. The following day, he entrusted his doctor friend with the task of obtaining the contact information of the leading medical experts in this particular field. Without hesitation, John immediately took Annie on a road trip to seek medical help in various cities, but endless tests and long waits left them exhausted. Even when they crossed 2,000 kilometers and finally reached a hospital, they were told their appointment was pushed back by 2 weeks. Months of travel brought no expected treatment. John lost patience and grew increasingly irritable, and Annie keenly noticed the shift in him. She realized that if this continued, not only was her illness not improving, it could also put John in jeopardy. At this moment, John was on the rise in his career and could be focusing on his work. Subtitles: Chasing Financial Freedom. No one wants to be left out. I don't want to leave. It's not your choice. When they returned home, they stood by Anna's apartment building, saying their determined farewells. The drifting snowflakes now seemed so pale. The dim street light seemed to hint that this chapter of their story was coming to an end. Walking through the Western Airport lobby, John's footsteps grew heavier as past struggles seemed to echo within him.